Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160. Everything you need to know about cars, buying, financing, trading, maintenance, repairs, auto body, and more. Join the program by calling 513-579-1160. Now, here are your hosts, Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel.
Good morning.
This is where we talk about anything and everything automotive. We appreciate you joining us this morning. You will be smarter for having listened. And remember, you can hear us anywhere in the free world on the TuneIn Radio app, Radio Loyalty app, or live stream at dipsticksanddeals.com or realtalk1160.com. Third Wheel.
Good morning, everyone. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook or Twitter and our WordPress blog. And for information about sponsoring the show, go to Dipsticks and Deals. That's dipsticksanddeals.com. And check out the Advertise on D&D tab.
If you have a question or you'd like to get in with us on the show, you can call us at 513-579-1160. You can also send us a Facebook message or an email at ask@dipsticksanddeals.com. Actually, we have Jimmy B at dipsticksanddeals.com and The Third Wheel at dipsticksanddeals.com if you want to make it personal. Information and entertainment for the American engine.
Not just because you drive cars, but because you drive America. And the reason I'm laughing is because I just got a text that caught me off guard from my wife and my mother-in-law that's in town. Did I feed the dogs? Well, if you're listening, honey, no, I did not feed the dogs, so go ahead.
Hey, don't forget, D&D is going to be out at the Labor of Love show on August 18th to support the Shriners Burn Center. That's going to be presented by the Border Lords, and it will be at Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. They're going to have a bunch of different classes, a lot of awards, custom bikes. They're going to have a model car contest, mini trucks. They're going to do split the pot and a bunch of other stuff. So a lot of good food, door prizes. It's going to be a great show on August 18th, 701 Chamber Drive, out at Easy Street Speed and Customs.
That has a perfect setup for any car show.
Which they do because they have a great big lot, and they've just got an awesome facility. It's really cool to see a lot of these hot rods and custom cars in process.
Yeah, that's what it. You go back in the back, you could just see all those cars broken down.
And, in fact, Easy Street Speed and Customs is one of our title sponsors, out at 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, just behind Quaker Steak and Lube. You can call them at 513-831-7550, 831-7550. Who else do we have that's a sponsor of ours there, Third Wheel?
Well, you have Rocky Automotive.
Yes, 859-431-3733, exit 80 off of I-275. They are close to everybody where they're located down there.
And then you have Huseman Schmidt Insurance Agency over there on Cheviot Road.
Do they have a phone?
Nope. Yes, they do. 513-521-8590. If you have any need to get a requote for your automotive insurance or auto insurance or your home insurance, give them a call again, 513-521-8590.
And don't forget about Mel's Auto Glass, STI Towing. We'll talk about them a little bit, too, here in a bit. You know, there's a lot of crazy, stupid car stuff going on this week. Did you hear there's the 20-year-old girl that lifted the car up off of her dad?
No.
After it fell, after the jack collapsed and fell on him. He had a BMW. He was putting brakes or something on it, fell. She opened the garage. She sees him. She does one of them power moves and, superhero things and pushes the car off of him. What about the 17-year-old kid? Did you see the kid that he texted his friends while he was driving, and he says, I need to stop texting before I crash, and then he drove off a cliff?
Really?
Did you see that?
No, did he die?
No, he had two of his buddies in his truck, too, and they're all okay, but it's like the last thing he texted, I got to quit texting before I crash, and there he goes.
That's like that commercial that gentleman who had a head injury, and the last text was, did you ever see that commercial?
Hurts?
No, he actually has a brain injury. And it's really sad. So you kids don't text. Parents don't text while you're driving.
Oh, yeah, I think I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, did you ever see that?
He's
trying to recover.
He's trying to recover and put out, this is what can happen if you text.
Right, and the last words of that person texting, which I don't remember.
Thanks for bringing us down, Third Wheel.
Yeah, it's a cloudy day.
How about this cat, this corporate executive? He was a CFO for a large corporation.
Yes.
Decides to go through Chick-fil-A and videotape his rant to the girl that comes to the window.
Did you see her? What she did?
She did good.
She did. She did really well.
She did really, really well. She should be proud, and that jackwagon is gone.
He got fired.
He got fired. Unbelievable what people will do. What about this guy who calls 911 while he's being dragged 4 miles by a pickup truck? Did you see that one?
No, who was dragging him and why?
Well, they never really got into the details. It's still under investigation, but there is a video caught from a store. It looked to me there was some type of altercation. I don't know if he got stuck on the truck or what the deal was, but he's being drugged by a pickup truck on the road for 4 miles while he's on the phone talking to 911. And you can YouTube or Google this and hear the conversation he's having. It's kind of funny. But he's okay, and they're looking into what actually happened. Another thing that happened, did you guys see the dude who wigged out with the tractor and drove over all the police cars?
No.
Up in Vermont. You didn't see that?
No.
You got to get on to Google and check out man drives over cars with tractor in Vermont, because he apparently got upset over an arrest, and then he was released, but he must have really been upset because he went and got one of them giant,
loaders?
Dude, it was like a big combine-looking thing. This tractor's huge. It's got the 2 big giant tires on each of the 4 corners. And he went back to the police station and just drove over top of all their police cars. And what's funny about the story, it was like something you'd see in Mayberry. They couldn't go after him because all their cop cars were crushed, and he just drove on home.
It's good we get shot.
Yeah, for real. And I don't know. It's just bizarre that there's so much craziness going on. We've got a trivia question for today. This is our gas, cash, or crash contest. You get $25 in gas, $25 in cash, or the most valuable part of this contest is you can crash the show and be here with us, which is really cool. Haven't had any takers on that. The winners so far have taken the gas, which I can understand, and we'll talk about why they're taking the gas.
Big
a little
issue
bit.
with that one.
But here's the trivia question from the silver screen. Eleanor was what make and model car?
I was supposed to read that.
Go ahead and read it.
No, forget it now.
Do it.
Who's Eleanor?
That's the question. What make and model car was Eleanor? I get on a roll.
What
dude.
movie? What movie?
I'm not going to tell you that. That's what you got to investigate. It's too easy to Google the answers. I got to make people do some
From
homework.
the silver screen. For you young people, that's the movie theater. Eleanor, what make and model car? Man, I don't even know what you're talking about.
You'll be smarter for having listened.
I will.
Some of us will be dumber for having participated.
And you win what? $25 in gasoline, $25 in cash.
Or you can crash.
Okay.
Crash the show and come in. We've actually got a couple of people here that have crashed the studio too, and I got to tell you later in the second hour, Kenny Coltrane's here. You remember Kenny?
I don't know if Kenny slept.
I think he was sleeping outside.
I think it did.
When we got here. We'll get to that and go over what we're going to talk about today. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We appreciate you being here with us on Dipsticks and Deals. Real Talk at 1160.
Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. As you wrap up the weekend, we'll have showers and thunderstorms today with a high of 86. We'll have winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. Showers and storms continue into the evening. It'll depart cloudy overnight, a low 62. Monday should be sunny and warm with a high of 85. Monday night it'll be clear, a low 61. Tuesday should be sunny and warm with a high of 86. From the Real Talk 1160 Weather Bug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
Between the economy and the price of gas, how about a way to save some money for a change? Lower your insurance premium with help from Huseman Schmidt Insurance. They understand more than most because they've been local, family-owned, and part of your community since 1976. Huseman Schmidt's expertise and common sense approach have helped their clients protect their assets and save money. For all your business and personal insurance needs, call Huseman Schmidt at 513-521-8590 and ask for Rob or AJ, or visit HusemanSchmidt.com. Huseman Schmidt cares.
7.
How could you not join the Savage Nation? How could you not say to yourself that finally you understand me? How can you not get down on your hands and knees and say to yourself, by God, this man is the only voice in this country that's saying it the way it is?
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
How's the expansion plans going for your business?
Oh, I'm holding off until the economy improves.
Really? Are your competitors on hold for the next few years?
Well,
I'm not waiting. I called General Steel Corporation. Their steel buildings have been used for businesses, churches, and schools around the world. They showed me how to save real money on a building designed for my needs and my specifications. I can actually operate more efficiently in a building they helped me design. While my competitors are sitting on the sidelines waiting for economic change, I'm going to make my own change and take market share. When this economy turns around, I'll be in the lead. Come on, you didn't start your business by waiting for someone to tell you when the time is right. Stop sitting on your hands and pick up the phone. Oh, and ask about these rebates that can save you up to $20,000.
Call 800-215-2418, 800-215-2418. That's 800-215-2418.
Hey, Nicole here, coming at you from Aroma Restaurant and Sushi in the Kenwood Town Center next to Nordstrom. We have some seriously great specials this week. Happy hour every day, 3 to 6. That's half-price sushi and drink specials. Thursday nights after 6:30, half-price wine. That's amazing. So come visit me, Nicole, the GM here at Aroma Restaurant and Sushi. Also, you can Google us at aromacincinnati.com. That's aromacincinnati.com. We will be your new favorite restaurant. Pinky swear.
We know you should be working, but seeing as you're on Facebook already, why not flip over to the 1160 page and tell us what you think? Then go to 1160.com and listen while you're online. We're worldwide. Real Talk 1160.
You've heard of a window of opportunity? How about a window of time? A window to the soul? This is John O'Sleek, and I'm here to tell you about the original 189 window from Window World. And this is your window of opportunity. If you have cheap or inefficient windows, you're losing money. Plain and simple. It's been so hot lately, your windows should be insulating. That means right now, they should be keeping the cool air in and the heat out. If your windows aren't doing their job, your air conditioner is working much harder than it needs to, and that is costing you a lot of money. Just imagine how that can add up. Let Window World give you a free consultation and show you just how much money you can save. Window World, home of the original 189 window. Don't miss out on a great opportunity to save money, insulate your home, and get the best window on the market today. Choose the #1 replacement window company in America. Visit us at windowworld.com. That is windowworld.com. Window World, simply the best for less.
Hi folks, Debbie Robke with Robke Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robke for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robke Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robke and see why our customers are always smiling. Robke Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at gorobke.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Weather every 15 minutes throughout your day. Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about auto shopping basics, and we're going to get into some car insurance stuff. Car insurance without the big words. But first, we need to take a look at what's happening in automotive news.
Really?
Yes.
You skipped it. Anyway, automotive news. This is the first time I've read it, like I usually do.
You do history and I do news.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what?
You know what?
Ty, what do you think, Ty?
This is not right.
All right, go ahead.
Automotive news sponsored by Scorpion Spray and Liners. 859-431-3733. The exclusive Tri-State applicator for the Scorpion Spray and Bed Liner, of course, is Robke Automotive. Again, 859-431-3733. We begin with some bad news today. Nearly a third of all 19-year-olds have not bothered to get their driver's license as yet, which represents a decline in the interest in the American car culture. Fewer teens are interested in driving due to the advent of cell phone, text, social media platforms. They don't drive. They don't need to drive as much, and they can't afford to drive anything but a gas saver. So your atypical car culture in the United States is kind of diminishing. That's very sad.
You know, I haven't really thought about that, but when I do talk to people like my daughter or friends of hers, they don't have a big deal about cars. They don't really.
It's not
like,
like,
did you get your license? I'm 16. I haven't got it yet.
Yeah, isn't that sad, I think.
I was like 13. I wanted my license.
But, you know, the cars that are the hot cars, they really can't afford to buy. So
And they're still living at home until they're 24. So
exactly.
whatever.
And they have insurance till they're 26 and all that. Another story. The global auto demand is creating a shortage of natural rubber, or at least it can't be produced fast enough. This is to keep up with the demand for tires for Goodyear, Bridgestone, and other manufacturers. So they're seeking alternative sources, including soy-based compounds and, believe it or not, dandelion root that supply a form of latex. The best dandelion root, they say, for latex are found in Russia.
Or my neighbor's yard.
Or your neighbor's yard. You can get that treated, but don't, because this is now a commodity. They're going to make tires out of dandelion.
And they could stop all this if they just made that one tire that doesn't deflate.
It's going to be hard to get used to tires that are yellow, but we'll see what happens.
Or at least a stain.
Toyota announced a recall of nearly 800,000 RAV4 and Lexus HS250s for a suspension problem that has caused 9 crashes of record because of rear suspension bolts that were not tightened correctly and caused the suspension arm to break. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. A.J. Allmendinger, the Penske race driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil car, or I guess I should say that the right way, the driver of the 22 Penske Racing Shell Pennzoil PPG Snap-on Bosch AT&T Elliott's Meat Shop Dodge, was fired by Penske after his second drug test came back positive for an illegal substances known on the streets as that Crystal Pop, Jack Pepper, Shazam, Slam, Down Pop, Diddy Diddy Crack.
I have no idea what you just said.
That's how they talk in NASCAR.
Sort of offended by that.
With electric vehicle technology all the rage, multiple new car companies are set to come on the scene in the U.S., including Venturi. The Venturi America is a French-designed, 2-seat, jacked-up, fully electric street buggy that will be built in Columbus, Ohio.
Good for Ohio.
This is not a kit car, folks. It's a 300-horsepower, 54-kilowatt powerhouse. What are you laughing at, Coltrane?
Good morning, Jimmy B.
Well, let me finish my segment. 300-horsepower, 54-kilowatt power, built for fun, and has double the battery capacity of a Chevy Volt. I'd be interested in something like that. Fully electric, plug-in, off-road, fun vehicle, fun buggy. We can dub it the fun buggy.
I can't even visualize it.
They have pictures online, but
I mean, is it like an old rail buggy?
Yeah, but it's got a body on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. Pretty slick. The French came up with it. I think it'll go good here. Let's take a look at automotive history. Now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn, which I still didn't read this either before I started, so this is all new to me, too. July 28th, 1973, Bonnie and Clyde, famed 34 Ford V8 sedan, was auctioned for how much?
$20.
You're so close. $173,000. The 34 V8 was very popular.
Very popular. If you would have proved this stuff before.
Nothing like reading a prompter. I feel like the Obama campaign. Very popular with the criminal element because of its speed and power. So much so that Henry Ford received a personal letter congratulating him on the car from John Dillinger.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Still don't know what Vuru is, but that's cool.
Please continue.
July 29, 1904, GM acquires Cadillac for $4.5 million. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Cadillac was actually the second failed attempt at a car company made by
Henry Ford.
Mr. Henry Ford.
Isn't that crazy? Henry Ford had Cadillac. I did not know that.
That's just a lot of money, though, for back then.
Well, yeah, it's a car company.
Wow.
What do you think Cadillac's worth now? Doesn't matter. Continue.
Yeah. August 1st, 1941, the iconic Jeep was born. During World War II, the U.S. Army made a call to all U.S. manufacturers to develop an all-terrain vehicle to the Army specifications. In just 49 days, the Willys Truck Company answered with what is now a piece of American automotive history and cultural icon.
It is, too. 49 days all it took Willys to come up with the concept for that. Please continue.
When they stopped that, though? 19...
What? When did they stop
Willys
what?
The Willys, was that 60s or 50s?
I believe that would have been in the 50s, sir.
I can do a wheelie on my bicycle.
Shut up, Coltrane. Please
Shut
continue.
up. August 3rd, 1900, talking about rubber. The Firestone Rubber Company was established with just 12 employees, led by 31-year-old inventor Harvey Firestone. 8 years later, Firestone would be the tire that Henry Ford again put on all his Model Ts.
It's all Ford all day, baby.
It's all rubber and all Ford. August 4th, 1971, the Kid, as he would later be nicknamed, was born and born to drive. Jeff Gordon's birthday was yesterday. My father-in-law, God rest his soul.
Your father-in-law's Jeff Gordon?
Time out. My God rest his soul. Love Jeff Gordon.
I want your autograph.
NASCAR's Wonder Boy turned the big 4-0.
He's 40 years old, man.
He's got another 20 years he can drive.
He still looks like a kid.
Yep.
I know it's the kid, but he looks like a kid. I like Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon is somebody that I followed from his rookie stuff, from like go-karting forward.
Yep.
So I always knew that he was going to be a good NASCAR driver, a Cup driver. I didn't know he was going to be to the capacity that he well, I should say was. He's still a contender, Jeff Gordon. Just like I called Garth Brooks when I saw him or heard his music actually it was on a cassette tape. Like a bootleg cassette tape. I thought that guy's the next country superstar. And look what
Really?
happened.
So you're like an agent that doesn't do anything as an agent.
I have a sixth sense.
A sixth sense. Wow. All right.
Coltrane, you go to Chick-fil-A?
Hey, is there any mustard for these hot dogs you guys got laying around here? How long these been here?
Those hot dogs were from like Friday.
Well, then I can have one.
You could have one if you want one. I don't know that you would want one.
Well, thank you very much. I haven't ate. Well, I ate last night at a fish fry, which was delicious, straight out of Lake Erie. And I want to give a good old shout out to some good friends, Danny and Carol from Hamilton. Love you guys.
And they were the ones that hosted this fish fry that you went to?
Well, it was another friend of theirs.
Yeah?
That's right, yep.
And where was that at?
That was out there in Hamilton. That's
Really?
a far ride on a bicycle, let me tell you what.
I was going to say, last time we talked, you didn't have a
know
license
it.
or a car.
I need to get some new reflectors for that bike. I keep getting hit. It's got to stop.
Kenny Coltrane is with us, if you can't tell already. Kenny's the guy that's going to do Coltrane's Corner, and we're going to have that segment coming up in our second hour. What are you going to talk about today, Third Wheel, other than trying to read all my stuff? And
We're going to talk a little bit about insurance. It's not going to be too technical, just a little bit about what you need to know.
And you're going to leave out all the big words, isn't that correct?
Because, I do not know how to pronounce the big words like roo-roo.
Wow. You know what? You edge ever so closely to you and I fighting. It's a good thing there's a lot of apparati between us, or it would happen.
Just hug it out.
We've got somebody else in the studio here, too, today. You want to say hello?
Good morning.
And who are you?
I'm Sarah.
Okay. Are you the person that won our last week's contest and decided to crash the studio instead of take the money?
That would be me. That's me.
That's not very smart. And do you know Coltrane?
Unfortunately.
Okay. We'll get more to that later when we come back. Stay tuned. You're listening to Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. As you wrap up the weekend, we'll have showers and thunderstorms today with a high of 86. We'll have winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. Showers and storms continue into the evening. It'll partly cloudy overnight, a low 62. Monday should be sunny and warm with a high of 85. Monday night, it'll be clear, a low 61. Tuesday should be sunny and warm with a high of 86. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
This is Steve Jarnicki, voice of Florence Freedom Baseball. Thursday night, the Freedom shut out the Schaumburg Boomers 3-0 as Brandon Mathis threw 7 scoreless innings. The Freedom are now 36-32 and had a couple of off days. Sunday night, they return to action as they host the Road Warriors. Brent Shobin gets the ball. Join me starting at 5:50 for all the action on Real Talk 1160.
Listen to what's new.
Well, I don't think the Secret Service agents in question were on their best behavior. They're in a little bit of trouble and probably going to have to do some explaining.
Lucy, what have you got to say for yourself?
The Mike Huckabee Show, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Talk 1160.
Here at Columbia Hyundai, because of high trade value, it's possible to trade in your used car and keep your current payment or even lower it for a comparable new Hyundai.
Wow, John, what are we talking about payment-wise?
Right now, get a new 2013 Hyundai Accent for $149 a month, or a new 2013 Elantra for $169 a month, or a new 2013 Sonata for just $179 a month. This is a 36-month lease. Other than tax and title, only $19.99 due at signing. And all these cars get over 40 miles per gallon on the highway.
This is National Fuel Efficiency Month.
National Fuel Efficiency Month is not an official government holiday, but it is with new Hyundai buyers. Plus, all new Hyundais come with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance.
That's a better warranty than a Jaguar.
And we can get finance approval in 30 minutes or less, even if you have blemished credit. And remember, we need good trades, so we'll give you top dollars for yours.
Only at Columbia Hyundai on Montgomery Road at I-275.
Call 489-2000 or see our video at ColumbiaHyundai.com.
You want speed? You want power? You want style? You want something that turns heads? Then you want Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. Easy Street offers everything from minor repairs to full restoration, custom builds, late model mod, performance parts, and an on-site dyno for real performance tuning. Hot rods and cool rides at Easy Street Speed and Custom, 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, 513-831-7550. That's 513-831-7550.
Jerry Doyle.
One of my doctors from Cuba said that if I was in the Cuban healthcare system or the British healthcare system, or if I was in the Obamacare system 5 years from now, you'd already have a toe tag.
The Jerry Doyle Show, weeknights at 7 on Real Talk 1160.
I'm Dr. Lawrence Kurtzman. There's nothing more important at Kurtzman Plastic Surgery than providing not only the finest environment and experience, but most importantly, the absolute best results anywhere.
I lost over 100 pounds and I turned to Dr. Kurtzman to surgically remove all my excess skin. From the office to the service and especially the results, I was blown away. Best decision I ever made.
My recovery was way quicker and easier than I ever imagined. So many people warned me how rough tummy tuck recovery could be. Not with Dr. Kurtzman. My friends were amazed. I was out to dinner only 2 days after my surgery. The surgeon you choose does make a difference.
Don't believe all the sales pitches and hype. Go to a board-certified plastic surgeon. It does make a difference. For a complimentary, informative, and pressure-free consultation, call Kurtzman Plastic Surgery, 513-891-4440, 513-891-4440, or Google Kurtzman with a K Plastic Surgery. Kurtzman Plastic Surgery. Never settle.
Hi folks, Debbie. Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobKey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Reality Check. Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to Dipsticks and Deals. Real Talk 1160. Jimmy B, the third wheel. Kenny Coltrane's here, and the Crasher Contest winner, Sarah Chavez.
Hello, Sarah Chavez.
We're going to talk a little bit about auto shopping basics. And we're going to try to dumb this down and make it real basic. It's one of the things that people don't like to do. You know what I mean? Buying a car. But there's some reasons why it can be such a stressful event. There's some things you can do to prepare for shopping for a car that are going to make it a lot easier and help you get a better deal.
And remember, people, I don't care what anybody says. It's an investment, so do your homework.
We'll get to that. If you would pay attention, third wheel, you'd probably be pretty good at this. couple of the basics. Obviously, the price of the car, the amount that you agree that you're going to pay a dealer for a vehicle, new or used. And here's the thing. The price of the car relative to budget, and Third Wheel, you could probably speak a little bit on this because I know that there are a couple different types of buyers. And the majority of buyers go in and shop on payment. So the literal price of the car is almost irrelevant to somebody who's looking for a particular dollar amount to spend every month. So my question would be, do you look at your monthly budget? This is what we can afford monthly and see what that equates to in the price of a car. Or do you do what most people do? I see that commercial, I like that car, and go try to buy the car.
Again, it does. It depends on your budget. It depends on the needs and wants. What do you need and what do you want?
Right. But relative to the price, there's some cars out there that I want, I cannot afford. I can't buy them. There's no way.
Well, and that's any salesman should be able to pre-qualify you when you come in. So if you know the answers of really what you want and what you need, if you want to do some type of a list before you come, because a good salesman is going to get you off price, find out really what he's going to pre-qualify you, find out what you really want and need,
right?
Tell you and should tell you the truth, and show you the cars that fit that budget.
And that's if you're buying on payments?
Well, it could be the payment is fine, but do you really want to stretch something out 72 months, 84 months?
Right.
I mean, really, what type of a buyer are you? Have you always bought cars and had a payment your whole life, or have you kept a car after you paid it off for 10 years, 5 years, or whatever?
Okay.
So that's sort of, you're a payment or you're a buyer just for the total price. That's going to determine how you do your own, set up your own budget.
Gotcha. Amount of down payment, obviously, the more the better. You never want to finance taxes, or at least that's a good rule of thumb. At least have your tax money down. You want to pay interest on tax money. Is that correct?
Well, again, I'm not a trained professional. I just play one on the radio. The thing is if you, for me, like down payment, if I'm going to waste my money, okay, let me back up. Say there's a commercial and it says for a lease or a payment, you put $3,000 down, right? You divide that $3,000 down in the months that they're saying, okay? Are you saving money or are you spending more money when you put the money down?
Right.
If you're a payment buyer like you were talking about, if that's just how my budget is and I want to pay $350 a month or $500 a month, putting money down, can I get there without it?
Right.
And if I do put that much money down, is it really my payment, if I divide it up by 60 months or 36-month lease or something, it could be $600 a month in.
Right.
So.
Okay, so price of car is something that you got to consider, the price of the car, the amount of the down payment. How about trade equity or trade deficiency? Because it could be either way. That's another big one. That's probably one of the biggest factors if you have a trade that can affect the deal.
Well, and I think what is it that they used to say? And again, I don't remember, but it's you're trading a car in, the value of your car. These companies are in to make money, so they're not. You can play games and say, "I'll give you all the money that you want for your trade-in value," but you're going to be paying it on the car that you're buying then, or something.
Right.
So what's the real? I need to know what a real trade-in value is.
Right. So, and we'll get to that because that's something that is considered upside down. I've heard in the business upside down. How more than what it's worth?
How do these car guys come up with that? You know what I mean?
Come up with what, upside down, or
well, just
the
value and say I can give you all this money for your car where the other dealership couldn't.
Right. Okay, we'll get to that too. The cost of financing, that's a big one. The interest rate, it's based on your credit, based on the car you're looking at to buy, but there's a cost to borrow money, and you got to consider that too, the cost of financing.
All I can speak for is in the very, very old days that when you were a finance manager, that there was some type of set. Some, how can I say without people could understand, sort of a reserve. So if you're financing the car and you say you can get there's a range of rates that you could get. Does that make sense? So if a rate that is lower, you could get if you had good credit, but there's also a reserve back that I can hold back to make a profit off of.
Okay.
So I don't know how that is nowadays. I think there's some laws against that.
Right.
So I think in the finance office, you can negotiate a little bit on the rate, maybe, depending on how your credit is still.
We're going to get to that, too. And I like the way you're going with that. I just don't like the way you're looking at me all sexy. So tone that down a little bit.
Oh, no.
How about the term of the loan? You mentioned that before. The term of the loan is going to affect the payment amount, obviously. The longer the term, the less the payment. Isn't that how it goes?
Do you think that?
Third whip.
Yeah, I mean,
stretch the payment out in term. It's going to cost you a little bit less per month.
Again, and if you feel your budget can handle that for all that time, then fine, be that type of a buyer. But you better know that going in.
Right. Which brings us to the how-to, because you just heard two dummies talk about car sales and buying. So we're gonna dumb this down a little bit further and tell you the how-tos based on everything that we just said. We're thinking you need to source financing outside the dealership, at least for comparison. And a good source for that is a credit union, if you belong to one. Credit unions typically have the lowest rates.
Especially on used cars for an amount of time.
That's right.
They extend their time.
But I think it's important that you do a little homework prior to going to any dealership to buy a car and research what are the rates, what are the going rates. Get them to pull your credit and find out where you're at so you don't go in blind. You see what I'm saying?
No, I understand. And that's how I totally shop. What I do is I go in to a dealership. I'm going to know everything I possibly can about the type of cars that I want.
Right.
So I also know what banks have what that I can get pre-qualified for.
Sure.
So I'm not going in saying, hey, yeah, I want this, I want that, but I have no idea about anything about my own credit history.
Right.
I don't know how much money I actually can put down.
Correct.
You know, or what type of car I actually need.
Right.
So I'm pre-qualifying myself before I even go in through the internet, finding out what my trade's worth, if I have a trade.
Me too.
All that. You don't even have a car, buddy.
Well, and that's what I'm getting to is the thing you want to do is you want to source all of those things, and we'll get to each one of those, but you want to start by sourcing, if you unless you have cash and you know you're going to finance a vehicle, source the financing yourself to get an idea of the rates that are out there and what you qualify for, like Third Wheel said, because if you don't know your credit score, you have no business going in to buy anything on credit. You need to know that up front. That's just common sense. But you don't want to discount the ability for a car dealer, new or used, to be able to source really good financing for you because, and this probably plays more for folks that have a marginal credit score or a lower credit score, these car dealers have relationships with banks because they deal with them daily with multiple applications and loan approvals and all of that stuff. So they actually have that personal relationship with that loan officer that you do not have, unless you have that already and you've had multiple loans. But if you have that kind of relationship outside of a car dealer with a credit union or with a bank, this is not new news to you. I'm sure you do that already because you've had multiple loans and you're a good credit risk and all that kind of stuff. But with today's economy, the jobless rate, and everything else that's gone into it since 2008, most people don't have the credit to finance these cars with these super low rates and the financing deals that you see on television. So don't discount the ability for the car dealer to go in and go to bat for you.
He's speaking for you.
He's speaking for you. He's the guy that says, hey, he can go through your credit bureau with that loan officer and explain some stuff and get you a better rate, get you a better deal, and more importantly, get you financed when you might not be able to otherwise.
Right, because they know different vendors out there, basically different banks, like you said, and different credit unions that are going to be buying today and buying you at this credit score. You become a credit score.
Right. You're just a number.
Right. Or you're, yes. And there's slow pay or debt to income. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but this guy can sort it out really fast, throw you to a bunch of different people, different banks.
But you need to know where you stand before you walk in.
That's the smartest thing to do. Unless you want to spend 10 hours at a dealership.
And always wonder and not know and be mad later when you find out something different.
And you won't be feeling like you're getting ripped off.
We're going to talk a little bit more about credit scores, types of vehicles, and such when we come back. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk, 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. As you wrap up the weekend, we'll have showers and thunderstorms today with a high of 86. We'll have winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. Showers and storms continue into the evening. It'll partly cloudy overnight, a low 62. Monday should be sunny and warm with a high of 85. Monday night it'll be clear, a low 61. Tuesday should be sunny and warm with a high of 86. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
I grew up in a normal home in a normal town. All of a sudden, everything got crazy. I didn't talk to anybody about the way I was feeling. I was scared and I was alone. I started drinking. I just didn't want to deal with what was happening in my life. I knew about AA, but thought I was too young. I found out I was wrong. If you have a problem with your drinking, why don't you give AA a call? Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
This is Real Sports with Wild Man Walker.
So you're going to give up watching wrestling to watch the Olympics? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say I was going to give up watching anything. I had time that's not designated for wrestling. Yeah, I might.
Real Sports, weekdays at 5 on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, it's the Wild Man from Real Sports 1160 here with my friend Rob Bullock from Bullock Roofing.
Hey, Wild Man.
Rob, I hear you guys are the roofing experts.
That's right, Wild Man. If it has to do with a roof, we can handle it. Roof contracting and replacement, shingles, gutters, chimney repair, skylights. We even offer replacement windows.
Now, what sets Bullock Roofing apart from the other guys?
Wild Man, we are the roofing experts. We do it once, we do it right, and our pride shows in our work. Our customers mean the world to us, and their satisfaction speaks volumes. We're based on old-fashioned value and fair prices.
And word of mouth today is everything.
That's right. Our popularity has grown thanks to our customers telling their family and friends about our quality work.
Take it from Rob Bullock with Bullock Roofing. If you need help with your roof, gutters, chimney, even replacement windows, get the treatment you deserve from the experts at Bullock Roofing.
We service the entire greater Cincinnati area. Find us on the web at bullockroofing.com. That's bullockroofing.com. Call us for a free estimate today at 513-771-2096.
Hey folks, Jimmy B here. Did you know that one of the most important structural aspects of your vehicle is the windshield? It accounts for almost 50% of the rollover strength. That's why you must choose the right company for windshield repair and replacement, and that's Mel's Auto Glass. Mel's Auto Glass has certified professionals serving the tri-state for more than 25 years. Don't trust something so important to anyone else. The experts at Mel's Auto Glass for quality, value, and peace of mind. Call 513-563-7771. That's 513-563-7771.
Dennis Miller? We've got an app for that.
I'm the guy who can't seem to figure out how to turn his radio down.
Download TuneIn Radio for your Android, iPhone, or BlackBerry and listen to Real Talk 1160 anytime, anywhere.
Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint of Northern Kentucky. This is Don. May I help you?
Don, this is Rick from 1160, man.
Hey, Rick. How are you doing?
Not good. Okay, long story short, Pecora loaned me his car to go pick up his dry cleaning, and on my way out, I backed right into a light pole. He is going to kill me.
All right, Rick. Settle down. Bring it in. I'll personally inspect the damage. I'm positive we can take care of it with no problem at all.
You are the man. But Don, this has to stay between me and you.
Hi, I'm Don Metalka, owner of Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint. Bring your damaged vehicle, and I will personally take the time to show you why Reincarnation is different. We're flexible with your deductible, and I know my experience with handling insurance companies will help you get your repairs done smoothly. Just Google Reincarnation of Northern Kentucky, where we bring good cars back to life. Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint, Don Metalka speaking.
Hey, Don, it's Pecoro. See, I was out driving in the wife's van, and I drove by your lot, and I thought I saw a car that looked like mine.
Yeah, that's a popular color.
Hi, folks. Debbie. Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobKey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Laura Ingram, weekdays 9 to noon. Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel.
All right, Sarah the Show Crasher, doing the lead-in like a pro.
That's me.
We were talking about auto shopping basics. And, we say you'll be smarter for having listened. Some of this stuff might seem common sense, but I'm telling you, in a car dealership, especially, people come in and it's like they forgot everything at the front door or left it at the house, because a lot of these things sound simplistic, and really they are. We just want to remind everybody from kind of a real-world perspective of how to go about buying your next new or used car. And we were talking about, before we went to break, checking your credit score and sourcing financing outside of the dealership, or at least if you got a credit union, you can get that qualified and approved before you go in, great. But at least if you source you're going to get an idea of what the current rates are and what you should expect based on your credit score. You don't want to be unrealistic about the vehicle or the payment if you've got a low score. I mean, you got to know, with, like I said before, with the economy and things that they are, it's tough to get good rates if you don't have good credit. It's almost impossible. So you want to make sure that you know where you sit before you go in. Use the dealer to your advantage if you're on the marginal or middle to low end of credit scoring, so the dealership can work on your behalf and advocate for you and get you a good rate and get the loan bought to begin with. If you have marginal credit or poor credit, it's not going to be a secret when you go into a dealership. You don't want that to be a surprise to you. You don't want to be one of those people that go in to buy a car and you sit there, like Third Wheel said, and you spend hours trying to negotiate a deal when the deal can't even put together because your credit's too low. So you need to know where you're at before you go in so there's no surprises. Third Wheel also mentioned knowing the vehicle type that you want before you go shopping for a car. Do you need a car, truck, van, sport utility, sedan, sports car? What are you looking for?
If I get above, yeah, I mean, if I got 8 kids, I'm not going to buy a 2-seat convertible.
This is true.
So, I mean, come on, people. Let's, again, go back, look at what you need, what you can afford. All these things need to come into play before you even step through a dealership.
Right, and you want to get online, and we've talked about this on other shows. You want to research vehicle types, get an idea of pricing in your particular area. Look at, if you're looking at used cars, jot down mileage, options, that you have something to compare. When you're talking about, we mentioned your trade before, clean the trade up. Research its value. Know when you go in what your car should bring. And you can get the trade value and wholesale and retail and all that kind of stuff, but determine a realistic bottom line number if you don't owe any money on it.
Well, and it used to be, I remember when I was in the business, it was I was taught to look at a trade as get past the pretty.
Right.
But you can't help it. If it looks good and it shines well.
The closer it looks to lot ready or saleable condition, the more money that you're going to be able to get for it because it's going to look better to the dealer. It's going to be more attractive to him and make him want to put a little more money in it if it needs to be done to make the deal work or to meet your expectations as to what you should get for it. Don't go in and if you have a lien, call and find out what your payoff is.
Yes.
Don't go in blank because it always seems to me if you don't know how to calculate payoff properly, then you're going to think that you owe less than what you actually do anyway. And you don't want to get into that argument or you know what I'm saying? Or
it's just a weird thing that you hear people, if you have friends that bought cars before, that they argue and they complain about car dealerships and they argue about going in there and spending hours and hours. But like you were saying, you go in there, you have nothing. You have no idea. You didn't research anything with the technology that you have today. You can actually probably research 96%, 97% of this information that you need to go in there, be well prepared to buy a car, and you could probably do it within an hour.
Be a lot faster.
Going through the door.
Sure.
So, but no, you'd rather go in, unless you enjoy going in there and like standing around for 10 hours and arguing about things that you're actually learning from the salesman.
Right.
I don't get that.
Well, it comes down to evening the playing field. Okay, you don't want to go in blank. They have all the ammunition. That just doesn't make sense. You need to know where you stand credit-wise. You need to know your max for your down payment. Understand that you want to at least pay taxes so you don't pay interest on tax money. The more the better for your down payment. Understand what your trade's worth realistically. If you owe money, what do you owe to the penny? Get the payoff from the bank so you know when you're going in. And more importantly, know what your credit score is so you know where you're going to fit relative to payment and rates and that sort of thing. Yeah. Have an idea of the car that you're looking at, especially if you're looking at used. News are going to be close across the board in your area, but on the used side, there can be a couple $1,000 difference between the same two car types, one dealer to another. So have all that information and be loaded up to go in there. It's going to make the sale faster, easier. You're not going to get upset and stressed because you're not going to blow your expectation. Don't let the process wear you down because that's what's going to happen if you go in and you're not prepared. You want to be well rested. Don't go shopping for a car on a whim. Never works. You need to have all this stuff in your pocket when you walk in. The more research you do before going to look at cars, it's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. And keep in mind, too, that multiple credit checks around town is just going to further hurt your score. You don't want to keep getting inquiries after inquiry on your credit bureau, because when you do finally make a decision on what and where to buy, that deal may not exist anymore because the bank pulls it again. What's going on? Something looks fishy. They've been to 10 different places trying to get a car loan. Is everybody saying no? What are they seeing that we're not seeing? They might look at it closer. They might change the rate. So have all this stuff ready before you go in so you can avoid all of this stuff.
And that's a great point, because I'll probably bring this up in the insurance segment, but when you're looking at a credit score, and I don't know how the banks are doing this, but they used to be like A, B, C, D through J or something. You get a credit score and you fit in this level. Well, a lot of these financial institutions and insurance companies are expanding this alphabetic, code here is A through Z now. So you're talking about the inquiries, and you're getting all this that knocks you down one notch now. It used to keep you in a broader range, like a D category or a G category, because it had a lot more credit scores in that level. Well, now they expanded A through Z, so from a J to it can drop you from a J to an L. You know what I mean? So it can cost you money. It costs you money.
Sure.
So if you're not educating yourself on this process and you go into the dealership, you're losing money. The real educated person, as far as research and finding out what he needs to buy, goes into a dealership, I guarantee you will save money.
Well, you said it at the beginning, and that is it's an investment. And it is. And it's something that for Americans these days you can't do without your automobile. It is a necessity. You got to have it. So when you're going to make a large purchase, they say it's your second largest purchase you'll ever make after your house. I think that's changing somewhat, but in any case, it's the second most important. I'll put it that way, if not the important purchase. So why would you go into it blank?
Exactly.
I mean, you get online, and when you're looking to buy your cell phone, and you source everybody that you can find, plans, phone types, what they do, what they don't. But when it comes to buying something as major purchase-wise like a vehicle, a lot of folks go in with nothing. And I think that's what we're trying to get across. The point we're trying to get across is do your homework. Price averages of the cars that you're looking at around the area so you know what dealers to go to and what not. I mean, why would you bother if one dealer on the internet perhaps is $2,000 higher on everything you see on his lot than everybody else? I mean, really? I wouldn't imagine that would be the case, but I've seen some variances that way in used cars especially. Go to the dealers that have priced comparable to other dealers and have the car that you want, the amount of down payment, trade equity or deficiency. You need to know whether you're up or down on your trade, clean it up. Cost of financing, get an idea, shop the rates that are around town and what's available. You can't do that if you don't know what your credit score is, or let somebody pull it to determine what your credit score is and where you're going to be. So know where you're going to get on your payment and the term. You got to do your homework. You got to go in there with some ammunition. And it really, what it does, it just puts the expectation of buying a car where it should be for you, instead of giving all the control to the dealer. But the dealer can help you, like I said, because they can make things happen that you cannot do on your own. So use them to your advantage that way.
An educated buyer is a confident buyer, which will save you money.
We're going to take a break. We're going to get to Fast and Furious, our new segment, when we come back. Coltrane's Corner, and learn about some insurance. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk, 1160. If you drive a car, you must have this number, 1-800-828-0159. The number to STI Towing, the Tri-States Towing Pros. STI handles most motor clubs, including AAA, and they offer prompt, courteous, and professional service all day and all night. Mention Real Talk 1160 and the first 5 miles are free. That's 1-800-828-0159. 1-800-828-0159 for STI Towing.
Real Talk 1160. WQRT Florence, Cincinnati. Home of the Bulldog, Eric Dieters, Laura Ingram, Michael Savage, Mike Huckabee. Real Sports with Wildman Walker and Dennis Miller. Real Talk 1160.
AP Radio News. I'm Tim McGuire. The son of Philadelphia Eagles coach Andy Reid has been found dead at the team's preseason training camp this morning at Lehigh University. Team General Manager Howard Roseman with reporters just a short while ago.
It's with great sadness that I tell you that Garrett Reid, the oldest son of Coach Reid, was found dead this morning in his room here at training camp. This is a tough morning for all of us in the Eagles family.
Police say the younger Reed's body was found earlier this morning in a dorm room on the campus. More people had to evacuate their homes earlier today in Oklahoma. Wildfires threatening the town of Luther, several other communities. AP's Tim Talley reports while there have been no major injuries, more than a few of the survivors are in shock.
One lady was extremely sad. She was near tears. She was devastated by the loss of everything, family photos, mementos, clothing. They got out with their lives.
Nearly 6 homes and other buildings in Luther have burned. Other homes have been lost in other parts of the state. The Williams sisters defend their Olympic title in women's doubles.
Serena adds the doubles gold to go along with the one she won Saturday in singles. She teamed with older sister Venus to beat the Czech duo of Andrea Holovačková and Lucy Radecka 6-4, 6-4 under a closed roof on a rainy day at the Old England Club. Venus closed out the match with a backhand volley after the Czech saved a pair of match points. Serena becomes tennis's first double gold medalist at an Olympics since Venus won singles and doubles at the 2000 Sydney Games. The sisters also won doubles gold at the Beijing Olympics in 2008. John Klobuchar, London.
In the gold medal final in the men's singles, a rematch of Wimbledon, Andy Murray has won the first set 6-2 over Roger Federer. Michael Phelps, after 3 Olympics, a record 18 gold medals and 22 overall, is done. The 27-year-old telling reporters he has plans now to travel around the world. This is AP Radio News. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton adds 3 more stops to her current trip. Clinton, who is visiting a number of nations in Africa, will travel to Istanbul Saturday for talks with Turkish officials about the worsening crisis in Syria. She has also added Nigeria and Benin to the African leg of her journey. 6 former players have been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Former Patriots and Jets running back Curtis Martin, who finished his career as the league's 4th all-time rusher, says he had to work hard to stay in the game.
There's someone always right on your heels, and every year, I'll tell you, there was someone, and I'm not being modest, there was someone on that team that had more ability. They were bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, but I just outworked everyone.
And once again, our top story, the son of Philadelphia Eagles coach Andy Reid has been found dead at the team's preseason training camp this morning at Lehigh University. I'm Tim McGuire, AP Radio News.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state for this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms mainly before 4 p.m. Some of those storms could be severe with heavy rain, high near 86. For tonight, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 7 p.m. Low 62. Sunny on Monday, high near 84. Mostly clear Monday night, low 60. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
My grandson always tells me I worry about him too much. Well, I was worried sick when he came home from Afghanistan. He came back wounded.
Many of our warriors return from the battlefield with post-traumatic stress disorder. Help support them at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Did you know Fear Buick GMC in Hamilton has been family-owned and operated and serving the tri-state since 1932? Isn't that the kind of dealership you want to buy your next car from? And because of that success, Fear Buick GMC announces their upcoming move later this year to their new 26,000 square foot location between Menards and Kohl's near Bridgewater Falls. Come see Ray Tenley, Fear's general manager for the past 25 years, and tell him Dipsticks and Deal sent you. Call 513-863-8111 or visit fearmotors.com. That's FIEHRER Motors.com.
Imagine you're reaching for a pen when you slip and, yep, there goes your coffee, right onto your computer. If you're one of the almost 50% of small businesses that don't back up their PCs, you've just lost data, and there's a good chance you'll lose sales. From human error to natural disasters, or even those little oops moments, there's always a risk of your computer system going down, and that could really hurt your business. Take it from Doug McDonald at the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Like every other business, data is critically important. We have over 80,000 records of donors and members who are critical to our livelihood.
That may be enough to make you give up coffee forever, but there's a better way. How does the Museum Center do it?
Cincinnati Bell is a wonderful partner, and with them, I don't worry about these things. That gives me peace of mind.
So don't swear off coffee just yet, because Cincinnati Bell is now offering data backup, part of our Peace of Mind suite. Get 25 gigs for just $25 for 12 months. Now that should help you relax, unless you've had too much coffee. Just call 513-2-BUNDLE or visit myrightsolution.com/backup. Cincinnati Bell, right here for you.
Real Talk 1160 is on Facebook. It's okay to love us. Too bad Facebook only has a like button. Let us know what you think. Comment, unload, let loose, or praise away. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Talk 1160.
Hi, folks. Debbie Robke with Robke Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robke for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robke Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robke and see why our customers are always smiling. Robke Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobke.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Hit us up on Facebook. Search Real Talk 1160. Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160. Everything you need to know about cars, buying, financing, trading, maintenance, repairs, auto body, and more. Join the program by calling 513-579-1160. Now, here are your hosts, Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Got a phone number?
Yeah, what is it? Why don't you read it?
579
Teleprompter boy.
1160.
I don't even
513-579-1160. 1160. Kenny Coltrane's in the studio with us today.
That's right. Here I is.
So is Sarah Chavez, the winner of our crash contest. She's here to crash the studio, which she's done a good job. She did one lead in already and did a fair job. We were talking about being prepared going in to buy a car. And that's where I'm going to leave that because the segment's over, but that is what we were trying to get the point across, is just to be prepared, do your homework, know what you've got to deal with before you go in to try to make a deal. I don't think I can put it any plainer than that.
And make sure they run your credit before you test drive that automobile. Because the last time they said go ahead and drive that car while they were running my credit, they just called the police and had me pulled over about 2 miles down the road and said, son, you need to back away from the automobile.
Kenny Coltrane. See, his segments are really good because you can learn by doing the opposite of what Kenny does. Before we get to Kenny Coltrane, though, we need to look at fuel prices, and I know this has Third Wheel all riled up.
I am very fired up at this, people. Put it this way. The other day I drove to the gas station, filled up my car. And then I took my wife's car, drove it to the gas station. It went up 23 cents in 2 days.
What? Isn't it sick? It's crazy, man.
I don't even want to try to figure out or go into that whole spiel, but it's not cool at all.
It's not cool because it's getting very expensive to live.
So that's why, well, yeah, chicken's like $500 a pound now.
Yeah, I was going to go to Chick-fil-A the other day. I couldn't afford it, and gas. I couldn't afford to go sit there with all them people and let all my fuel run out.
I ran out of gas in the drive-thru.
You did? Really? That sounds like a Coltrane.
No, I didn't.
Just get a bicycle. Won't happen.
Coltrane passed me up in a bicycle. That's the problem.
What do we got in fuel prices? Where are they averaging?
Well, I think this is I think this is not true, but I'm going to read it off anyway. National average, $3.61. I have no idea where that's at. National, the high is $4.30.
I think I paid we're about $3.80 something.
Yeah, that's just going to say around the tri-state, you're at $3.78 for a low, and you're at $3.89 for a high. I saw it $3.99, like I said.
Whoa, where did you see that at?
It was at a Kroger's, actually.
$3.99.
Yeah.
That is sad.
And it could be higher and lower, but I'm just saying right now these are the reported gas prices.
Did you read diesel? Did you look up diesel? Is it going crazy too? Because I know it's always more expensive.
Yeah, let me find it out here. I can tell you real quick. It looks like the national average for diesel, current average is $3.81.
Yeah.
You know, again,
I like the way you say diesel.
In the high end, it's $4.85.
I say diesel. You say diesel.
Diesel.
Like Vin Diesel.
You can just make moonshine and you can drink it and burn it.
In your car, in your gas tank.
Now you just went back about 80 years.
Oh, it's still happening.
Don't forget, like we mentioned earlier, Mel's Auto Glass for your auto glass repair, 513-563-7771. You know, the big box insurance companies would like you to go to certain big box glass companies. You're going to get your best service, your best deal. All your insurance stuff is handled the same way through Mel's. Call Mel's Auto Glass for glass repair. Doesn't always need to be replaced. Call them about that, or for replacement. And STI Towing still has mentioning Dipsticks and Deals, and you get your first 5 miles free on a tow, which when you're talking about gas prices and diesels, and their trucks are diesels, this is a hell of a deal. This is something you don't want to pass up. So write this number down, 859-485-1234. It's easy to remember. You'll always have prompt service, and they'll take care of you and do it professionally, and you get 5 miles free.
Like I always say, Jimmy B, do we need to be worried about gas prices for this next car of the week?
Well, you know, you don't always say that, but yes, you would. 1970 Ford Torino Cobra. This is the 429 Super Cobra Jet, 375 horsepower. This car came with a 780 Holley 4-barrel, 430 rear-end gear, 4-speed training. It was available with a shaker hood, the popular Magnum 500 wheels, and it ran a 13.6 1/4 mile out of the box.
What's a shaker hood?
That's you're going to have a hole in the hood, and the air cleaner element actually has a top on it that sticks through the hood. So when the engine shakes, that shakes inside. You can see it shaking on the top of the hood, thus a shaker hood.
Huh.
Very cool car. Check out Facebook. Just search Dipsticks and Deals, and you'll see a picture of that hot 70 Ford Torino Cobra. Before we get to Kenny Coltrane, I think it's fitting that we look at our Dipstick of the Week. And our Dipstick of the Week is David Caruso.
I can't stand that guy on that show.
It's not the CSI guy. This is a different David Caruso. He's 51 years old. He's from Vernon, Connecticut. David was caught driving with a suspended license due to a DUI charge. He also failed to register his plates, so he was also cited for that when he was stopped. Which that kind of stuff probably happens every day, right? What makes David qualify for Dipstick of the Week? Well, it was the open beer that was in his hand as he rolled up to the sobriety checkpoint.
I've done that.
Beer in hand, no driver's license, DUI history, and car wasn't registered.
Stupid is.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life.
Unbelievable. That is a Coltrane move, and that is going to be our segue to Coltrane's Corner with Kenny Coltrane. Kenny, what do you got for us today?
Well, I was trying to think of some stories that I can share with y'all, and I got thinking of one that happened to me just this past week. I had to wash a car for my friend, and because I need some more money for my reflectors for that bicycle.
Right.
And I don't take it to one of them car washes where you can just spray it yourself. They ain't never got enough pressure, so I had to build my own pressure system. I call it the Coltrane 3000.
I don't even want to go here.
Oh, it's something unbelievable. But I made a mistake with it when I got firing that thing up. I had to move the car forward a little bit because the hose wouldn't reach long enough because I'm using one of them big old hoses. And when I fired, I guess I must have left that car in neutral because when I fired that pressure washer up, I blew half the paint off the back of the car and pushed that car on down the road.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was, so I had to go chase the car. I can't let a car go on down the road by itself. So I get tearing off down this thing. I jump on the back of the trunk lid. And, well, I guess we're doing about 30 miles an hour by this point.
Who's driving, Kenny?
There ain't nobody driving. I'm on the back of this thing. Well, I passed 2 McDonald's, a Waffle House, and a J.C. Penney's before I even get to the golf course.
Golf course?
I went straight through a golf course, Jimmy B, yelling, 3, get out of the way.
3?
If you or any member
and
of
I hit a
your family
sand
has
pit,
been
went up
diagnosed
over a
with
hill,
friend,
and ran right into an automatic car wash system across the street. I'm still on the back of this thing. There's sand all over the place. And them heat dryers in them car washers, I got second-degree burns on my back for them things.
Kenny, I can't wait to hear how this story ends. We'll get to it when we get back. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go?
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state for this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms mainly before 4 p.m. Some of those storms could be severe with heavy rain, high near 86. For tonight, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 7 p.m., low 62. Sunny on Monday, high near 84. Mostly clear Monday night, low 60. From the Real Talk 1160 WeatherBug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Between the economy and the price of gas, how about a way to save some money for a change? Lower your insurance premium with help from Huseman Schmidt Insurance. They understand more than most because they've been local, family-owned, and part of your community since 1976. Huseman Schmidt's expertise and common sense approach have helped their clients protect their assets and save money. For all your business and personal insurance needs, call Huseman Schmidt at 513-521-8590 and ask for Rob or AJ, or visit HusemanSchmidt.com. Huseman Schmidt cares.
If there was an emergency and your family was separated, would everyone know where to meet? For more information on making an emergency plan, go to ready.gov. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Ad Council.
Enjoy the 100 greatest books of all time and never read a word. Listen to them instead on the Library of Classics MP3 player. Enjoy Moby Dick, Gulliver's Travels, Tom Sawyer, Little Women, and 96 more, all preloaded on the compact player. Listen while driving, gardening, working out, or relaxing in your favorite chair. It's the perfect companion for road trips or on a plane. For a limited time, you'll receive the easy-to-use MP3 player, headphones, belt clip, car adapter, and 100 classic audiobooks. You could easily spend over $1,000 to buy the entire collection. You get everything for just $99 plus shipping. That's less than $1 a book. Order now and you'll also get 50 great classical music performances preloaded on the player. You're fully protected by our lifetime guarantee. If you are ever dissatisfied, get a complete refund, no questions asked. Call toll-free right now and order your library of classics.
1-800-435-6041. 1-800-435-6041. That's 1-800-435-6041.
Savage. Look at the greatness of your civilization. Look at the bridges. Look at the buildings. Look at the telecommunications. Look at the highways. Look at the hospitals. Look at the schools. Look at the food production. It is the greatest in the history of the world. And look at the others. Look how they live. Look what they've given the world. Bloodshed, hatred, homophobia, sexism, religious intolerance. These are people who have given nothing to the world but hatred and death.
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
The United States is the birthplace of cool. If the world was a high school, America would be making out in the study hall with Sweden, picking on India, and smoking in the UN restroom with France.
Dennis Miller, weeknights at 10 on Real Talk 1160.
Hi, I'm Jeff Pecora, one of the voices of the Cincinnati Reds, and I'm here with Colleen Hawes, owner of the premier casual upscale restaurant, Grandview Tavern and Grill.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a place where business meets casual in a social setting. Come enjoy our New York strips, bacon-wrapped shrimp and grits, or specials like pan-seared sea bass, and don't skip dessert. I promise they are worth the calories.
My wife can't get enough of your handmade specialty pizzas, and I love Train beers.
Nothing's better than watching our Reds win on one of our 16 flat-screen TVs.
I found the Grandview Tavern and Grill to be the best place for lunch meetings with incredible food and impeccable service.
I'm so excited to be out on the patio again. We pack them in out there. Whether you're here to network for business, have an intimate dinner for two, or dance the night away to live music under the stars, this place is for everyone.
Yeah, since coming to the Grandview Tavern, we feel more comfortable than any of the other restaurants. And by the way, Colleen, your outdoor patio rocks.
Jeff, you're too much. Just Google Grandview Tavern and Grill for the latest happenings and list of music.
Hi folks, Debbie Robke with Robke Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robke for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robke Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robke and see why our customers are always smiling. Robke Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobke.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Listen and be enlightened. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and deals on Real Talk 1160. Thank you for joining us this morning. You're listening to Jimmy B, the third wheel. We got Kenny Coltrane in the studio. Mm-hmm. And Sarah Chavez, the winner of our contest, who decided to crash the studio this morning. Kenny, we're going to get back to your story, but you said you went through the golf course on the back of the car.
Sure did.
Through the sand trap.
It hurt.
And you were yelling 3.
That's right. That's what you say. 3, look out.
No, it's 4, Kenny.
It's 4. It's 4.
People look out when you say 4.
When you say 4, they nose the duck, get out of the way. 3, I don't think that means anything, does it? Third wheel.
Well, I guess that explains a lot.
That's why.
Kenny, continue. You went through the sand trap, over across the road,
That's
and
right.
into an automatic car wash.
Yes, I did. And I tell you what, those automatic car washers have some power. Now, them brushes, they don't care if you're on the back of that car or not. They're going to clean that car whether you're there or not. I got a good cleaning. and the dryers, like I said before, my back is still just as red as could be because they burnt. You wouldn't believe what they did to my back going through them dryers.
Kenny,
it hurt.
What does all this have to do? How we told folks that they would be smarter for having listened. That's something that nobody needs to try to do. What is the?
But it happens.
What is this? What are you getting to here? What are you going to teach the American engine today?
Well, I don't know if I'm qualified to teach anything, but I do know when we came out of that car wash, it looked like we had ran through a desert in a sandstorm. The paint was gone, complete from all that sand from that golf course, and then you put them brushes on there and that water. It just stripped the paint. I didn't know what to do. I never did tell my neighbor. I just reported the car stolen and put it in my barn.
It wasn't your car.
Oh, no, it was my neighbor's. Geraldine, if you're listening, your car's in my barn. Ain't got no paint and got some minor damage.
So does this story in Coltrane's Corner today have something to do with washing your vehicle? Is that where you're going?
Well, if you like it to, I guess. Don't do that if you want to wash your car.
So, what are you trying to say relative to washing, though? You want a pre-rinse? What do you want to do? You don't want to rub sand into your paint.
No, but that's basically what you can do if you use any kind of dish soap or laundry detergent.
Not good.
Or anything like that. And don't use rags from your barn or laying on the garage floor.
Right.
Because that dish soap, it has adhesives that is made to get food off of plates.
What's an adhesives?
Ain't that what you don't eat that's on the plate before you wash it?
I have no idea.
You're all talking Chinese today to me. But anyhow, don't use dish soap if you're going to wash your car because it'll look just like what it looked like when I got through the golf course.
Oh, he tied it all together. Did you see that? Can you feel that?
I didn't see it.
I'm
can you feel it? He tied the whole story together. So you want to pre-rinse, get the dirt and dust off your car.
Highly recommend.
You want to wash with a quality car wash soap.
That's correct.
You want to use clean wash mitt and towels.
And a Coltrane 3000.
And leave out the Coltrane 3000.
Well, I think it's a good product.
I'll tell you what, I'll one-up that story and tell the folks out there.
Tell us.
The one product that I use religiously that I would swear by is made by Meguiar's, and it's called Quick Detailer. When you're done washing and drying your vehicle, get you a bottle of Quick Detailer. It's not cheap. It's $10 or $11 a bottle. I'm telling you what, you spray it, wipe it off. It's real easy. Any water spots, it puts a shine on it that you wouldn't believe. But if you do any of that stuff, if you put that on there before you do what Coltrane said, minus the Coltrane 3000, and make sure you wash your car properly, which is, I think, the foundation for the story. He just went.
There is one more thing I wouldn't mind adding, if you don't mind, Jimmy
well,
B.
All right, go ahead.
Because I do know a thing or two about waxing an automobile. I've been doing it for my whole life.
Okay.
If you're going to wax your car, don't just wash it and then wax it.
Okay.
Because what you're doing there is you're just simply trapping oxidation in your paint. So if you're going to wax your car, use a pre-cleaner. It says pre-cleaner right on the bottle. You pre-clean it, and it goes on just as if you were waxing the car. And then apply your wax.
Now that is good information.
Thank you.
And it came from Kenny Coltrane. Imagine that.
Well, I wax my bicycle every day.
Thank you, Kenny, for that. For Kenny Coltrane and
Y'all want some hot
Coltrane's
dogs? I'm
Corner.
going to make some more hot dogs.
Yeah, get us a couple of hot dogs.
Okay.
That sounds good. I want some new ones, not some Friday dogs. Fast and Furious. You want to do Fast and Furious?
Yeah, let's attempt this.
Okay. We got a new segment, Fast and Furious. Basically how it works. we take a few news topics, hot topics from the automotive world. Each host is going to have 1 minute, that's 60 seconds, to rant, rave, to agree, disagree, say whatever you want about it in 60 seconds.
This will be interesting because we did not rehearse this at all.
We didn't, but we're going to give it a shot. Fast and Furious. We don't have time to do all the topics, but we're going to do a couple, including New Jersey cops escort high-end sports cars on a 100-mile-per-hour escort on the Jersey Turnpike. GM markets to gays and lesbians with gay-themed Volt advertisement. This is the one where in the magazine he's between two cars, the little electric car is, and he says, "Mom, Dad, I'm electric." We'll start with those two. We'll have a bell that rings at 60 seconds. There you go. So the topics: New Jersey cop escort high-end sports cars on 100-mile-per-hour escort on the Jersey Turnpike. Third wheel, you're going to start us off. Go.
I think it was pretty cool. I'm not saying that it's legal or procedurally correct, but I thought it was pretty cool because I think they were escorting the Ferraris, the Porsches, or whatever cars, Lamborghinis they had, and they wanted to open them up and see if and how well they can hang. It was wrong. It was illegal, actually. So, yes, I could see him being disciplined, not fired. Wasn't unsafe because I think all these guys were well-trained drivers. And I think it's actually a pretty cool thing for the police to do on to these high-end owners and drivers. But was it legal or how can I say it? Was it per procedure? No, not at all. So, yes, they should be punished.
Okay. I completely 100% disagree. It is a safety issue. They had no business escorting those cars at that mile per hour. There was a construction zone that they went through. I saw the video. They endangered countless number of people's lives. I know they were criminally charged. I think the level of criminally charged is you could arbitrate that maybe, but I think they should be disciplined. I think it should be pretty harsh because you're not talking about chasing, stuff happens when they chase criminals, felons, in car chases and things like that, and I get that. But this was like 8 or 10 high-end, 200-mile-an-hour capable vehicles. You had a cop car in the front, a cop car in the back, and they're busting over 100 mile an hour down the turnpike with traffic in construction zones, and I think it was foolish. I think it was irresponsible. I think they should be held to the fire on this deal, and I think all those guys in those hot cars should. Next topic: GM markets to gays and lesbian with gay-themed Volt advertisement.
Mom, Dad, I'm electric. Go ahead, Jimmy B.
Wow, this is a tough one, especially in light of the Chick-fil-A controversy. But I'm going to tell you, I think there's a lot of advertisements out there. Well, relative to this specifically, should they market to gays and lesbians? If there's a market, and apparently on these electric vehicles, a little bit over 1% of the buyers seems kind of small to me, but that does represent a market segment. I think then if they want to advertise to that segment, by all means, go ahead. I think this ad was in a publication for gays and lesbians, so it's not like you and I are going to see it except for how we did online. I think any company that is wholly owned, has their own marketing department, can market any way they feel necessary.
Well, in a politically correct society, I'm trying to be very correct about it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a touchy subject. My whole thing is, and the way I look at any race or sexual orientation or anything like that is that's it's your thing, not mine. I mean, we're going to disagree or we're going to agree. Everybody's different, but I don't think there's a place for it in advertisement over the general population. I don't think we should single out this or that and say this. You guys should buy this or you guys should buy that because you are, you this is what you are. Like you are this, you buy that. Be it race or sexual orientation or anything else.
Okay.
So I mean, that's where I can actually stand on this.
That's Fast and Furious. I like it.
You mean the car won't even start unless you're gay?
We'll be right back. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state for this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms mainly before 4 p.m. Some of those storms could be severe with heavy rain, high near 86. For tonight, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 7 p.m., low 62. Sunny on Monday, high near 84. Mostly clear Monday night, low 60. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Attention business owners and individuals who owe the IRS. Do you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes? You need aggressive representation. Call Certified Tax now at 800-440-5360 and speak to one of our tax attorneys, enrolled agents, or tax professionals who specialize in tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. We won't waste a minute helping you with your tax problems. We'll be on the phone with the IRS within 30 minutes of you becoming a client. We've settled millions of dollars of tax issues for a fraction of the cost. Find the peace of mind knowing the IRS will not be knocking on your door. Protect your home, business, and family today. We know the tax laws and we act fast. Call today for your free, no-obligation consultation. 800-440-5360. Remember, we'll be on the phone with the IRS within 30 minutes of you becoming a client. That's guaranteed. Call Certified Tax at 800-440-5360. That's 800-440-5360. Again, 800-440-5360.
You want speed? You want power? You want style? You want something that turns heads? Then you want Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. Easy Street offers everything from minor repairs to full restoration, custom builds, late model mod, performance parts, and an on-site dyno for real performance tuning. Hot rods and cool rides at Easy Street Speed and Custom, 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, 513-831-7550. That's 513-831-7550.
Hi folks, Debbie. Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at gorobkey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
All right. Can everybody take their seats and settle down, please? Hey, come on, guys. We got a lot of work to get through today, okay? Now, let's start with some word problems. Okay, let's see. This question is for Jacob. Jacob, let's say you work 25 hours a week after school at the deli, earning $8 an hour. Sally works 30 hours a week at the movie theater, earning Y dollars an hour. And Sean works 40 hours a week at the auto shop, earning X dollars an hour. Then how are you going to drive your mother to her dialysis treatments every day and still find time to finish your science project this week?
Some students are tackling more than just their schoolwork, which is why more than 30% of them aren't graduating. But you can give them the boost they need to make it through by visiting boostup.org.
All right, listen up, class. This next question is for Susan. If you pick 27 apples and you give away 30%, how many apples will you...
Visit boostup.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Savage. The only cure for extreme liberalism is shock therapy, massive doses of psychotropics, and hopefully years of re-education.
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, it's the Wild Man from my new favorite hangout, Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. If you love sports, you'll love Willie's in Covington. They've got sports on flat screens in the restaurant and the bar. Before the Reds game, take the Willie's shuttle to the ballpark for $3. Then back to Willie's to celebrate a Reds win. If you love food, you'll love Willie's in Covington. All appetizers are just $5 every day from 1 to 7. And daily specials like Monday's Burger Madness, a half-pound burger, waffle fries, and a drink for just $7. Tuesdays, Chicken Madness, a chicken sandwich, waffle fries, and a drink for $7. And Wednesdays, Bang Bang Shrimp, just $5. If you love drinks, you'll love Willie's in Covington. The best happy hour every day from 1 to 7. $2 domestic pints and bottles, $3 domestic drafts, well drinks, and house wine. And check out Willie's Outdoor Deck. Enjoy all Willie's has to offer and the great summer weather at the same time. Take it from the Wild Man. You're going to love Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. Just over the Prince Spence Bridge on 75 South, or visit williescovington.com.
Michael Savage, weekdays noon to 3. Real Talk 1160.
Dipstick Books and deals. We're shifting into third gear on Real Talk 1160. Kenny Coltrane, I'll tell you, the last words at the end of the segment, you weren't paying attention.
I don't know what's going on with the TV. I don't even have one.
Well, this was in a magazine. I'm not sure that you read magazines either, but
No.
Fast and Furious segment, I like it. We'll try to continue that. Maybe when Coltrane's not here.
I'm always here. I'm a janitor.
We're in third gear, isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in third gear, so we're going to talk a little bit about car insurance, and we're going to try to leave out the big words.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Last couple topics, segments threw me off a little bit. So basically, when we were talking about buying and selling automobiles, going to a dealership, etc., and we talked about people preparing, understanding, trying to get online and educating themselves a little bit about what they're looking into. Because one of the big things, and I'm sure all you guys do the same thing, when your insurance rate goes up, say $20, $30, your homeowners or your auto, first thing you do is complain.
Of course.
Absolutely. But the thing is a lot of people don't know anything about insurance. And I'm not an expert by any means, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, you guys need this coverage or that coverage as far as the names and what it, and all the big words. But the first thing I want to start out with is please do your homework. Have some common sense. Find out, what, as far as let's talk about automobile insurance is and what insurance companies do. First of all, insurance companies, agencies, all are there to make money. Don't lie to yourself. Okay? Don't sit there and think that, this is like some type of charity that they're out here just to save my assets and, protect everything that I have for free.
And they do make money.
And they do, and that's what they're there for. They're there to take your money. And basically, like gambling, the odds are against, like, if I have coverage for something that, say I give you a good product in like identity theft, the odds of you having this issue, but you're paying on it, may not happen. So they're going to win on that. But when they have to pay out a claim for something that usually does happen, the actuaries, what they call them in the basement, figure these things out.
Right.
So that's like a hedging your bet. They're going to take your money and they're going to invest it.
Well, the way I've always thought of it, they take all the money from all the people paying premiums, they put it into a big pool. Those people that have accidents, that money pays for those accidents.
Well, they invest that pool so it grows.
Okay, so they're making money.
So
on
if you
your
had
money.
a financial collapse like we've had,
right,
they lose money if they have investments in that.
Okay.
And on top of catastrophe claims or whatever claims, if we have a Hurricane Ike came through or whatever in 08 or 09, they lose money there too. So you got to figure out companies like insurance companies, not agencies, and that's a big difference. An agency, captive or independent, okay, like your State Farm, your Allstate, those are captive. That means they sell their product. The independent agency would be somebody like Huseman Schmidt who has multiple companies they sell for. So the agency sells products for the company.
Gotcha.
So they could shop your quote, shop your insurance, your auto insurance, say, to 5 different companies. Get 5 different premium quotes for you and tell you what's best in the coverage, what offers what deductibles, et cetera. So, again, agencies are different than companies. So when these companies get the money, like you were talking about, they invest it or they have it in a certain area, and when a claim is made, they pay out of this.
Right.
Now, they lose money when you have Hurricane Ike and a financial collapse all in the same time, same year. That's devastating. So what's the first thing the insurance company is going to do? Because remember, they're always finding out what's going on. These guys are great at predicting.
Yeah, but...
So what do? They're going to raise your rates.
But what they're going to do is if Hurricane Beulah comes into Florida and they have this catastrophic event, they have all these claims, just the people that live in Beulah, Florida, aren't going to see the claim increase or the premium increase.
No, everybody will. It'll be spread out.
Everybody across the country is going to get a premium increase to pay for Beulah, Florida.
Right.
Okay.
And it used to be people used to be able to tell people, hey, look at the market. If the market's doing well, your rates come down. If the market's doing poorly, your rates are going to go up.
Okay, because they're not making
they have money
on the end
in
of
there.
that. Right.
Right. So 08 or 09, whenever all this took place with the Hurricane Ike, especially through the Midwest, I mean, these things, was the combination of the financial issues and the hurricane was unprecedented. I mean, it just was amazing. And rates are going up, and I'll be honest with you, from what I'm getting is from everywhere from 10, 20, 30 more on a 30% cap, meaning it's going up that high in the next 2-3 years.
Wow.
So you can, again, not getting into the hard market, soft market insurance jargon here. Basically, rates are going up, people. Deductibles are going to go up. Okay, so it used to be, I got to remember the old full coverage, comp, collision. I don't have any, I got $100 or 0% or $0 deductible for comp and $100 for collision. Those days are going to be gone because you're going to be charged a little bit more if they do it at all.
Really?
Yeah. So that's where they're going to raise their rates on that, and then their liability and everything else. So the thing you have to pay attention to is it's not just one company that's doing this. It's all the companies. Over time, and I say the next 2-3 years, you're going to be looking at that cap. So changing your deductibles is actually a good thing. And the reason I say this, and I want to lead into this, is because say you have the zero deductible and for collision and comp or whatever. If you raise those deductibles, you're going to save money. And if you're a person who doesn't have a lot of claims, and I'll get to something else with the claim thing in a second, but if you're a person that doesn't have a lot of claims, that money that you save is a profit for yourself. I mean, it's not a profit, but it's a mass savings.
Money saved.
Because
money earned almost.
Yeah, the like example here, I have a $100 deductible for comp is $49. And $167 for a $250 deductible. Okay, and that's sort of the way it used to be. The way we tell people nowadays is go up to $500 on comp and collision. And then with the decrease in the premium for those things, you actually could save $588 a year.
Just by increasing
by going from zero to from $100 and $250, what we for comp and collision deductibles to $500 comp and collision.
I'll tell you what scares people is with the economy the way it is and gas prices like we talked about earlier, and you're talking about insurance premiums going up across the board anyway in the next couple of years. I don't know that I'm going to have $500 to $1,000 disposable should I actually have to use my insurance.
But you just saved $588 a year. Take that savings and stick it into a fund or an account and save it.
That's what I was getting to. Is helping the American engine understand what to do with that.
Yes. Don't go out and blow it.
Right.
Stick it into an account, and it's sort of like the healthcare health savings accounts. You have an account for that.
Right.
And you build it for that rainy day. So if you're a person, and again, talking about claims, if you are a person who has a lot of claims, I'll tell you right now, you'll be kicked out of a standard market, which is something that's pretty much average for people. That type of what I mean by a standard market is a company who like a State Farm or an Allstate or State Auto or Grange Insurance, those type of companies that you can go into their standard product and get an average cost for insurance. If you get out of that by having 2, 3, 4 claims, A, you're going to feel it in your premium if they keep you there. B, after a while, they'll just drop you. They will not renew your insurance.
Is that I know it's legal because they do it, but
sure,
they can't that.
They just won't renew you on renewal. They can't just stop you midstream.
Right.
So when your policy comes up, there's 2 ways it can really get rid of you. A, crank your rates way up, or B, just non-renew you, which there are markets that we can get insurance for.
Right.
But if you have those claims, a lot of claims, you don't want, that's what I'm trying to say, is you don't want them. You don't want to have, a rock hit my windshield. So if I have zero, comp coverage, you know what I mean, other than Kentucky where they replace it. But I'm just saying those type of things, really, if you go up to $500, pay for the window because it's not going to happen that often.
Right.
So the savings is what I was talking about before. That's your little nest egg because insurance companies are protecting all your assets with their pot of gold, which is much bigger than our pot of gold.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with building your little pot of gold just for insurance. So by taking that $588, putting it into an account or half of it, and you do that next year because you haven't had another claim. Me personally, I haven't had a claim in I don't know how many years. And you always hear about this accident forgiveness from some of these companies, and they give you $100 back. Great. But if I change my deductible, raise it up to compete with these percentage caps that they're going up, the rates increasing, go ahead and take that savings, take the deductible, because you don't really have that many deductibles or that many claims.
You're not going to use it that much.
Yeah. So next thing you know, you got $1,500 in 3 years with no claims in my account.
That's some good info. We'll get back to this when we come back. We got to take a break. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Is a little higher.
weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state for this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms mainly before 4 p.m. Some of those storms could be severe with heavy rain, high near 86. For tonight, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 7 p.m. Low 62. Sunny on Monday, high near 84. Mostly clear Monday night, low 60. From the Real Talk 1160 WeatherBug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Hey folks, Jimmy B here. Did you know that one of the most important structural aspects of your vehicle is the windshield? It accounts for almost 50% of the rollover strength. That's why you must choose the right company for windshield repair and replacement, and that's Mel's Auto Glass. Mel's Auto Glass has certified professionals serving the tri-state for more than 25 years. Don't trust something so important to anyone else. The experts at Mel's Auto Glass for quality, value, and peace of mind. Call 513-563-7771. That's 513-563-7771.
Laura Ingram?
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
We've got an app for that.
Oh, fantastic.
Download TuneIn Radio for your Android, iPhone, or BlackBerry. And listen to Real Talk 1160 anywhere, anytime.
Your healthy radio addiction.
Hi folks, Debbie. Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at gorobkey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
How's the expansion plans going for your business?
Oh, I'm holding off until the economy improves.
Really? Are your competitors on hold for the next few years?
Well,
I'm not waiting. I called General Steel Corporation. Their steel buildings have been used for businesses, churches, and schools around the world. They showed me how to save real money on a building designed for my needs and to my specifications. I can actually operate more efficiently in a building they helped me design. While my competitors are sitting on the sidelines waiting for economic change, I'm going to make my own change and take market share. When this economy turns around, I'll be in the lead. Come on, you didn't start your business by waiting for someone to tell you when the time is right. Stop sitting on your hands and pick up the phone. Oh, and ask about these rebates that can save you up to $20,000.
Call 800-215-2418, 800-215-2418. That's 800-215-2418.
How about real car talk? Maintenance and repairs, buying and selling, hot rods and cool rides, performance, off-road, and auto racing. How about Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160, the show that's anything and everything automotive, every Sunday morning from 9 to 11. With me, your host, Jimmy B, and the Third Wheel, you'll get industry insight, cool trends, tips and tricks, and a whole lot more. For an entertaining and engaging look into the automotive world, listen to Dipsticks and Deals every Sunday morning at 9 on Real Talk 1160. You'll be smarter for having listened.
Listen to what's new.
It's amazing that the Secret Service would do something so dumb. Now, let me be fair. You can't blame Obama for this. And if anybody does, they're just being stupid.
The Mike Huckabee Show, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Talk 1160.
You've heard of a window of opportunity? How about a window of time? A window to the soul? This is John O'Sleek, and I'm here to tell you about the original 189 window from Window World. And this is your window of opportunity. If you have cheap or inefficient windows, you're losing money. Plain and simple. It's been so hot lately. Your windows should be insulating. That means right now, they should be keeping the cool air in and the heat out. If your windows aren't doing their job, your air conditioner is working much harder than it needs to, and that is costing you a lot of money. Just imagine how that can add up. Let Window World give you a free consultation and show you just how much money you can save. Window World, home of the original 189 window. Don't miss out on a great opportunity to save money, insulate your home, and get the best window on the market today. Choose the #1 replacement window company in America. Visit us at windowworld.com. That is windowworld.com. Window World, simply the best for less.
Download the free TuneIn Radio app and listen anytime to Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. Real quickly, I just want to say the insurance segment that we're doing right now, talking about car insurance and insurance in general, is really too big of a topic, too much information to hit in just one short segment. So we are going to talk about this some more right now, but we're going to finish this up first segment next week because there's so much information, so much good information that we feel the American engine could benefit from. That just to let you folks know, if we cut it off short, we're going to hit it next week first thing. So
yeah, and if you have any technical questions about the insurance or anything to do with automotive technical questions, you can send us an email.
ask@dipsticksanddeals.com.
There you go. Or you can Facebook us.
Facebook message us, Jimmy B at dipsticksanddeals.com or The Third Wheel at dipsticksanddeals.com. Please continue
Absolutely.
with the insurance.
Well, what I want to do, I'll just sum it up real quick, is just remember there's a difference between the agencies, okay, companies. There's captive agents, independent agents, and then there's the insurance company. State Farm, Allstate, Geico. Those type of companies are captive agents. They sell their one product. Independent agents have multiple products that they sell for multiple companies.
Can you tailor an insurance policy to my needs more if you are an agent versus one of those big box places?
Well, it depends on what kind of insurance. I mean, all the insurance are very similar. Okay, all these guys that they just call them different things, different product names. You know, like accident forgiveness and all. They all, if they don't all have it, they'll all have it soon. Put it that way. Mm-hmm. So somebody, is very invents some type of product that they know that they're not going to lose their butt on.
Right.
They'll throw it out there and call it something nice, and then somebody else will call it another product. Where you get into the different needs, like a business insurance, or if you have a home, auto, motorcycles, maybe another home somewhere else, or a rental property, then you start getting into how this company can do this company cannot do this stuff. So that's for automobile insurance. When you get into the custom cars, the old antique cars, then you may have to go somewhere other than just your standard auto insurance company.
To get the coverage you need.
To get your proper coverage you need. Because your needs, like you said, if you have a custom car and you have to drive it, or you want to add miles to it, or you actually use it, or you don't use it, or you have it trailered, there's different packages for those.
Gotcha.
So that's where you look at saving money.
And I think this kind of topic, just like when we talked about the basic car buying stuff earlier in the show, in an economy like we're in right now, it's never been more important and to try to save anywhere that you can. And when you drive your car every day, we talk about how to save money, doing maintenance and doing repairs on your vehicle, how to save money and be smart about buying a car to begin with. And here we are on one of the most important aspects and the ongoing aspect, because if you don't do this right, it can cost you your entire way of life.
Oh, absolutely. That's why you hear what people say about underinsured and uninsured motorists. I mean, you get in a car accident and somebody's underinsured. What do you do? Where's the money coming that you hit 3 Beamers and this person's underinsured that hits you? And what do you do with your Beamer? I mean,
right.
So all I can say, people, is understand that you can talk to your agents, no matter captive or independent. You find out, again, about credit. Understand where your credit is. If you had some type of issue last year, your rates may go up. And it may be based on not just because the companies are raising the rates, but because your credit score got worse.
So can you put a percentage on what happens to your rate if you've got low credit score?
Well, as far as your premium goes, what you're looking at is, again, you take the alphabet and you go stretch it out, where years ago it may have been A through D, and you fell in those 4 categories. Now it's A through Z. So now we have a lot more categories to fall from. Basically what that means is the insurance companies figured out a way to decrease your credit with more tools. So if you were a D credit level, so say if you're a 798 credit score and you drop down to a 748, then your credit level may fall to a K or an L or an M. Your rates are going to go up probably during the renewal.
So people with bad credit have more insurance claims.
They say that, or pay their premium.
Okay.
So it's a credit risk,
the
it's a payment risk.
Okay,
it's
that's
a safety
what I was
risk,
getting to. It's not just the risk relative to the property.
Right.
It's the risk of whether you're going to default or not.
Or you're going to have claims. A responsible person is going to have responsible credit is their theory behind this.
Okay. Is there any research to back that up, or is it just really a theory?
There probably is, but I haven't pulled up any academic or any type of research. So sorry, but you can. The thing is you can get online. You can research all this stuff.
Okay.
You can, if you really want to. Again, you're saving money and you're trying to protect something that is valuable. Your home, your car. You're talking about the two biggest purchases.
Right.
Research this stuff. Find out who's credit. I mean, a funny thing about credit is credit ratings, even for companies, can go up or down.
Right.
Just like the country goes up and down. Look at those things as well.
Right.
Pay attention, because if somebody's rating went down, what's probably going to happen is they're going to have to make some changes as far as the company goes.
Right.
It could affect your premium for that company. Shop your stuff. A lot of people hate when I say this. Shop your insurance every 2 years.
Right.
Pay attention to your credit. Like I said, if you have a bad year, pay attention to your insurance, because your rates may go up.
Well, it seemed to me, from what I'm gathering here, relative to your big box captive insurance that you're talking about versus the agents who shop multiple companies.
Right.
Is it similar to what we talked about earlier with the car dealer having a relationship with the bank and multiple banks and be able to do, I can get this rate here, I can get this rate here. An agency is going to be able to kind of do the same thing with your insurance.
Yes, they will. They'll be able to talk to their underwriters in their company or their reps and say, look, I know this person, or this person's a really good person. They had a bad year, or whatever the reasonings that the rate may have went up. You have a better chance with your agent being able to talk to the company's reps that they sell for.
Okay.
I can't speak for State Farm or anything. I have some friends that own own agencies for these big companies, big box insurance companies. But as far as an independent goes, yes, we have a little leeway. Now, there are rules.
Right.
And a lot of the rules are we're raising rates to this percentage. So the only thing you can do to change it is to change a couple coverage deductibles and such.
I would also think that the big box stores, insurance carriers, you can go online and get it. You can call them, and if you want the state minimum, they'll take any way you want. If you're going to pay your premium, they'll let you set that up any way you want. If you went to an agency like Huseman Schmidt, though, isn't that quality of service that you're going to get there going to be more personal? In other words, they're going to say, look, let me explain why maybe the minimum isn't good for you.
Right, and again, I sort of want to go back to that point about getting online and getting a quote and stuff like that. You got to be careful, because they're not running your credit or all these things, so you're really not getting that real
firm quote,
things that I need to ask as an agent about vicious dogs. Do you have a pool? What size fence? Have you had any claims? You can fill in whatever you want, but I'm going to look you in the eye and ask you those questions.
Gotcha.
And then you'll be able to call me, which is nice. So the more research you do about your insurance, like we talked about when you're buying a car, the better off you'll be, the more money you'll save, and understand what you're doing. Just because mom and dad or grandpa had $0 comp deductible and $100 collision deductible doesn't mean I have to, not in this day and age.
Right, and you don't want to dumb down your coverage needs.
No.
Because in the event that you actually need that, you want to be covered. And you may save or think you're saving a little bit on the front end in premium because you didn't list, like you said, the vicious dogs and this, that, the other. Next thing you know,
they're getting audited.
You got the dog. You got the pool with no fence. Now you've lost all the money that you've put into the insurance, and you're going to have a tough time getting it anywhere else.
And like most companies out there, insurance companies, they have risks that they like and they don't like. So if you have a pool, that may disqualify you. A perfect example, my roof had to be replaced because the insurance company came out and looked at it and said it needs to be repaired or replaced, or you're going to be non-renewed.
Wow. Well, like I said, lot of information, and we will get back to that first segment next week to continue that, because it's something the American Engine, I think, really needs. I hear it in the background. You want to announce the song of the week this week. We want to thank everybody for joining us here this week on Dipsticks and Deals. Don't forget us next Sunday, 9 to 11 on Real Talk 1160. Kenny Coltrane.
Yes, Jimmy, baby.
Thank you for coming in with Coltrane's Corner. We do appreciate it.
Anytime.
Sarah Chavez, you crashed the radio show today. Thanks for sitting in. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Song of the week?
Go ahead, sir.
1964, Hey Little Cobra, by the Ripcords. Reached number 4 on the charts in early 1964.
See you next week. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.